Hello everybody and welcome back to the ESL Guild Wars 2 Pro League. My name is Munchables and this is Jebro, and we're here for week 7, the final week of the group stages of the Guild Wars 2 Pro League, and we're going to finally find out who is going to be moving on into our finals. I mean, this is something we were talking about before this match as well, was kind of the introduction in Warrior into the meta, because it's something that we haven't really seen in the Pro League until basically last week, maybe a little bit the week before as well, except for once or twice we had a couple of troll compositions that had warriors in them, but it's actually legitimately viable now, so I'm very excited to see that. Unfortunately not going to see that this game, but here we go. First match is going to be underway between Orange Logo and Super Smashed, and a lot is on the line right here for Orange Logo. They have to win this one to have any chance at that 4th place position. They can force themselves into a tie position, which really could push them up the standings. We'll have to wait and see though, as Orange Logo losing out this fight to start with. Tage took a whole lot of damage, but they managed to turn this one around and get a little bit more sustain on the go.
Yeah, we saw Farrell's trying to go over towards the other side of the map as well with Skovo here. And actually we saw Amstar just coming back with his portal as well. So they already prepped for the cross early on. So good job from Super Smash to prepare for that. Amstar is in a lot of trouble here, and you can see the difference between Mercs and Carrion, as he hasn't got as much sustain as he normally would, of course, with the toughness that comes out. The Tage going down elsewhere, of course, on the map. 1v2'd there, and it looks like over on the other side of the map we should be able to see Orange Logo take somewhat of an advantage if they don't get over here very quickly. But Moa comes out to Farrell's. Skovo has to leave as well.
This is
Farrell's, this is very bad for them at the moment.
This is so bad for Orange Logo. They could not afford to lose this fight when they had a 2 versus 1 mid. Or when they were being 2 versus 1 mid, sorry. They had to win the other fights elsewhere. Yeah. Otherwise, you just completely lose control of the map. Feroz goes down over at Mansions. That means Super Smash now managed to take the Mansion. However, Orange Logo have reacted well and gone over towards mid. That's going to be Grim going down towards mid as well. I don't think the res is going to be available here. Way too much cleave coming through. It's going to be Baines finishing off with a stomp in the end. So, the fight going the way of Orange Logo at the midpoint, and that should be a 2-cap for them. They're still ahead on points.
And a
decap on Mansion.
Oh no, potentially no. We did see Amstar coming through the portal as well, so good job from him to watch out for that. And Amstar's just going to stay with Garion here, maybe going back through the portal. We do see the Mesmer Baines actually going over towards that side of the point to make sure that he maybe potentially keeps it contested, even though we are going to see the Revenant on blue just push them away as well. So they're just looking to defend at the moment. Orange Logo still have the lead here, even though, you know, that, and that's what's good about the Thief, really makes up for it. Sable's actually going to go down if he's not very careful here as well. Garion trying to come in and give him a little bit of, sorry, not Garion. Let's go back over to the other side of the map. It was indeed Grim, sorry. 2 G's in the beginning of their name. Getting a little bit confused, but they're both going to go down. And Orange Logo should be able to snowball this into their favor quite quickly.
Way overextended there by Grim. Like, you know the Sable's coming down there. You're not going to be able to pick him up, and Grim ends up killing himself as well. So that's 2 kills going the way of Orange Logo, and that means they, as you say, should be able to snowball this in their favor. They could push towards mid, which they just have. Got that capture point. They've even got the decap on Mansion. They could even look towards a 3-cap right now, because Amstar has just been dropped into downstate. He's lost that fight at Mansion, and we could just see Garion trying to escape as well as Amka, but there's not really anywhere for them to run because Orange Logo controls the entire rest of the map.
They're all coming into close point at the moment. And look at the Revenant. Farrell's is just watching over towards the right side, east side of the map there as well, and he's just moved back in to help out with this team fight. We probably might see a decap from the Druid, but naturally, actually, people are running into mid now as well, as we see Anka there getting the decap quite successfully. Surprising that Tage not able to get there. It does get the port up top on the sword, obviously, but we are going to see Garion trying to get the decap here as well, but already looked after by Baines. Everything's going to be absolutely fine and dandy. We do see Skovo and Syndromir have been able to take Sable out again there, proving very difficult. They're very broken up. It doesn't feel like they're able to support each other to a degree, but it feels like they're really staying in those lost fights for too long. Someone goes into the downstate. Look, they're just being caught out one by one as they respawn and move back into the map here. It's kind of sloppy by Super Smash at the moment, really, in all honesty. And it really comes from, you know, a lack of practice as well, unfortunately. So
I think it's kind of
what's happening at the moment.
It feels like Super Smash players are just not on the same page. They don't seem to know where their allies are. You need to be knowing in advance where your allies are about to go to, so you're aware of the situation on the map. And when somebody goes down, it shouldn't be a reaction that somebody needs to go and help this guy. It should be that somebody is already on the way to that fight. That you shouldn't find yourself in a 2 versus 1 without knowing that's going to happen in advance. Well, look at that, the port immediately out.
Yeah,
to mid. Over towards mid.
That's a lot better, because now they can team up on Tage. potentially take him down. But I could actually see Garion just moving out on the side there. Syndrome is going to chase him, actually. And no, he's going to move back into mid to just take Amstar back out. But we have seen the density of Baines here over on the side from Garion, who's been able to just single him out there as well. So good job. And they could actually come back in this mid-fight here.
Yeah, absolutely. But with Baines down, Super Smash have actually got themselves a hold on this map a little bit better. Tage is going to be going down as well. He's just about out of cooldowns. He's going to be able to heal himself, but he's in a 1 versus 3. I don't know how long he can really last on this one. But as I say that, Scovo is arriving. In the meantime, there's a 1 versus 1 over at Windmill as well, so someone has to defend that from Orange Logo. And it is going to be Amstar going down as Syndrome came to +1 with Feroz. So unfortunately, Super Smash, I feel overextending on this one. They had the opportunity to maybe get the 2-cap. They had the opportunity to get themselves back on the map, but they, instead of just all going for that midpoint and 1 defending Mansion, they pushed way too hard. Now they're looking for Scovo, but he's going to be able to get healed up. He's going to be able to escape.
Second from the Virtue there, Tage just jumped right across the point and the area in the clock tower to give him a lot of healing and support, and that saves Scovo so hard. And Tage really being a flipping MVP for Scovo there. And then we see the easy +1 coming out on the other side of the map as Sable goes down again. Feels like we need a death counter for Sable here, everyone. I don't know if that wants to be brought up in chat. Feel bad saying that, but that's the truth right now. And Farrell's going to be quite low HP versus Grim at the moment, but he's trying to get the D-cap. Maybe he'll be able to get it fairly soon. I'm looking at his cooldowns now. It doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. Leaves this fight, especially with the +1 from Syndrome. It knows he can re-engage here as Amstar is back over towards this point. Crystalline Hibernation comes out from Feroz. Should be able to defend, but Scovo's coming in as well. That's going to give them more sustain. Sin can move back to mid, and he can leave this 2v2 in a pretty good situation with the amount of sustain they have.
Yeah. And I think Sin is definitely, for me at least, the MVP so far of this game. He has been absolutely everywhere Orange Logo have needed him. He's been +1 in fights. He's about to take down Amka. Everywhere he goes, they manage to get a takedown. And he has kind of singled out Sable multiple times in this game, where he's managed to find a 2 versus 1 with a teammate. And look at this, now Garion is going to be the next one to go down unless he can find a way out of here. His cooldowns are coming back up though, so he should be able to escape from this one pretty comfortably. But overall, Orange Logo's coordination has been so much better than Super Smash, and it's been a lot down to their rotations. But take a look at their health bars of Super Smash. They're just losing each and every one of these fights. And for Feroz and Scovo in a 2 versus 3, but honestly, it doesn't even look that bad for them right now. Now Syndrome going to be heading out back across the map again. I think he needs to get over to this fight at Windmill.
Yeah, they've not really equalized this fight out, and this could have been a really big error. Thing is, Tage is coming over now with Scovo. Are they going to be able to get a cheeky interrupt here? No, they're not indeed. But the thing is, in that situation, you know, Sin went for the D-cap over going for the actual, equalization of the fight. It's not too bad in the end because at least it's over on their home node and they're doing absolutely fine here. They'll have the respawn of Feroz. They have obviously decapped the point as well for a while, so they had to recap that. Obviously, we saw Baines going over there as well to see if he could just, you know, keep it neutralized for a short amount of time to give them a little bit of a rest while they do get the respawn of Feroz. So really, they have lost mid here as well, as obviously they've been a bit overstretched having 4 men on the map. But they should be able to get this back quite easily with a lead of currently 210 points at the moment for Orange Logo. It doesn't look like that's going to be thwarted at all here by the team of Super Smash. It doesn't really feel like they're going to be able to bring this back in. We've just got too much mobility coming out from Sin, like you said, but tables could be turned here as Baines is very low. He uses distortion as well. Low cooldowns here.
Amstar isn't letting him get away there.
But Syndrome, look, Feroz jumps on him straight away. Phase traversal by the looks of things as well. We are going to see the successful res coming out. That's a fantastic job. Yeah. Good awareness from Feroz there. Keeping him up in the fight, and they reverse it down onto Amstar, and his face has been put well and truly into the position of the floor. And now we can see Sin coming out with the res from Baines as a little bit of extra damage comes out as well from Amka there. But Grim coming back into mid as well. Actually, blue team still keeping the map fairly neutral with this cap over
Super Smash have been able to hold this point for so long there. Such a close fight. Unfortunately, Amstar does go down, but he's now back onto the map. And honestly, Orange Logo, they suffered a whole lot of pressure in that fight, but now Amka goes down. Garion looking for the res though, and he might just be able to find it at the last second, and he does get it. The heal is going to be available for Amka, and that means they stay in this fight. They just need to get more men over here, as we've got a 1 versus 1, then 2 versus 2s across the map. Portals are going to be used though, and that means a couple more men going over towards the mansion, but actually they come straight on back, and it's Garion all on his own here. Feroz is incredibly low, though.
Quite slow reactions there, actually, from Garion, to be honest, as they poured. It looks like he was just
stood there for
having a little bit of a coffee break, to be honest, as well. But Baines, in the fight before returning to mid, actually left a little bit too early. That's how they were able to get the... I believe it was Baines, sorry, as I did see people start to escape from midpoint. And they were able to get the easy res there. Shouldn't really have let them get that, but they did move to another position, and they've kept them at neutral as well as getting a decap there. So they haven't lost out fully here, but just a little bit too early on the movement from mid, and maybe because there's so much mobility, maybe Orange Logo just moving a little bit ahead of themselves at the moment, and could be putting them into a state where they could start to lose these caps. Skovo coming in for the res over on the other side of the map, not looking like, obviously he's not going to get able to get that, trying to grab himself some stability from that Earth overload to keep this point neutered at the moment, neutral, sorry, at the moment. It's a bit like that, I guess. It's not going to earn you anything if it's not working.
Sable once again goes down, added to the death count. He will be finished off pretty simply, and obviously Amka went down upstairs as well. That's why Sable was there in the first place. But another 2 kills going the way of Orange Logo. Despite them repeatedly winning these fights, there's just been a single cap for so long for Super Smash. It got neutralized for a while.
Move into mid, needs to be careful here now. Skovo and Baines should be fine in this matchup, actually.
Orange Logo have to find themselves a point, though. They've been slowly but surely losing this lead that they had. They're only 150 ahead.
We've got 4 minutes left. I mean, they could just hold it the way it is at the moment, actually, as well. So it's not too bad. They can sustain the map quite well. Sin can just +1 if he needs to while they sustain elsewhere. But do they choose to go for the free cap?
Oh, look at this fight, though, in mid. Super Smash starting to lose out. Amstar having to bail. Garion going to go downstairs as well and trying to find a way to escape, but there's 2 players waiting for him, and he's all out of cooldowns. He will drop down. Amka looking for the res as well, but there should be some CC available, or is there? Garion gets stomped at the very last second. He was on about 1 HP away from the res there, but Feroz is on his own as Skovo finally arrives, and he should be able to take down Grim, unless the cooldowns are there. Looks like Sin has arrived in the fight as well. That is going to be the end of Grim and Amstar as well. Now the last man remaining on this windmill. It's a 2 cap for Orange Logo. Just as I was saying, maybe Super Smash can get in. Orange Logo take complete control of the map.
Yeah, indeed. And this is why Tage is good on mid with the shield. You saw that bounce back. I mean, he can get a decap quite well as well, even in a 1v1 if he's left there for a while. And even 1v2, he can, knock 2 people off of that middle point if they haven't got stability up. And quite easily, which is why the sword and the shield is a very nice combination if he can use it correctly, and he has been so far. But yeah, at the moment the map 2-0 cap points now as neutral has come out over towards this mansion point with Sable going down yet again. And we're going to see, sorry mate, Skovo as well, looking low over on midpoint. It doesn't really matter at the moment because Orange Logo looking for this win and this
the 3 cap
solidification in the table, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should be pretty good for them.
Orange Logo looking towards that victory and looking for a little bit of extra cash as well. They want to make sure that they're earning as much prize money as is physically possible. And Super Smash, unfortunately, going to be going 1 map down in this series. And they might well be pushed down into, or like solidified in that 7th place slot at this rate if Orange Logo can keep this up for 1 more map. They're just 20 points away, but they've got the 2 cap. There's no way of Super Smash getting back in the next 2 minutes. So this one is well and truly done for Super Smash. And a very solid victory for Orange Logo. There was a couple of bits where Super Smash did manage to control the map, but it was kind of... When they did control the map, they only had 1 cap at any time. They never really had a massive advantage across the map, and it just felt like Orange Logo's coordination was just superior across this entire game. I can't remember what
looking very good, looking very good.
With the names.
Unfortunately, looking good is not going to get you anywhere in Guild Wars 2 PvP.
That is true, and I'll tell you where they didn't look good, map 1. So let's see if they're going to be able to change things right now. As immediately, look at that blink coming out from Baines to get straight onto the temple and get that early first cap for Orange Logo.
Yeah, indeed. Jumping into Syndra's point of view, as we do see some stealth coming out there. And Syndra is just going to go for the early kill potentially here with, well, this is going to be 3v1 situation versus the blue team. Obviously the blue team ranger there as well. As we see, Baines is going to be encountered by a few members of the blue team here as well. Now he's going to have a lot of work to do. But Distortion, he's just going to give himself some room here. So whereas the Mesmer can get away, Grim is having all kinds of problems, obviously. So we see the death of him, but Banes is fine, and that he's actually back on node as well. And the idea was just to give them the decap there. But Orange Logo really won out that early fight, keeping the point neutered over towards the altar there as well, and even over towards the other side of the map. So Orange Logo getting themselves a few cap points early in this game.
Yeah, and now we're going to see a couple of members of Super Smash heading over to that altar to try and contest it away from Feroz. But elsewhere on the map, we are going to see Sable in a whole lot of trouble. He's already knocked down, and he's going to be... He's at about 1 HP right there. 700 will finally drop, and that will be finished off by Banes as well. So that should be a temple cap going their way, unless we see a teleport coming out. But Feroz has been dropped over at the altar, so it's going to be one side node apiece as Sable finally is finished off, and that is going to be the cap coming out. But now it's all about the gate, unless we see a crazy fight. But actually, Bane's getting incredibly low as the 2 versus 1 happens. He's going to have to try and blink his way out of there, and will be able to do so very last second, though. And that's a decap. So actually, Super Smash, in terms of map control, managing to pull ahead.
Well, I mean, should I tell you what? One of the great places. I was actually talking to Fantaram about this on point. Like, this map is great for the Thief because he's able to be in a lot of situations. He's able to be very mobile. Like, the more points and like buffs on the map, the better it is for the Thief, because the Thief can get to locations a lot quicker than most of these players, unless we've got, like, obviously Portal coming out, but it's not the same as mobility as a Thief. They've got Portal and they've got Thief here, and even Tage to a degree, if he's still running with that sword as well, to just port around the map and able to get on those locations. But at the moment, like you say, you know, they're Super Smash sustaining fantastically well. And even mid could be potentially in trouble if they're not careful here.
But this is the thing as well. Skova actually in a whole lot of trouble. He's going to have his heal available though, so he should be just about okay as he heads towards this fight in mid. But actually, this is a fight that maybe they can't win because... Oh, Syndrome, I say that. Syndrome is waiting on the wings maybe to jump in and get an assassination. But he's looking for the +1 over at Temple right now. Amka is all on his own. It's going to be Banes and Syndrome should be able to finish him off with relative ease in this 2 versus 1. And Amka... There shouldn't really be a whole lot he can do about this one except maybe try and embarrass them on how long it takes him to go down.
Yeah, Amstel's trying to move over to the point now to give him some assistance. Now, the thing is, maybe he should have just stayed over on the midpoint and he should have tried to get the kill quickly on Tage. But the thing is, Tage has got a lot of Condi removal and he's tanking extremely well anyway. And now even Amstar is going to move over towards this point to offer up some assistance.
Still hasn't gone down though.
Yeah, we've got the Ranger over here as moving over as well.
As I say, that Garion is going to be dropped, so in the end it is definitely going to be a fight 1 for Orange Logo.
I think they should have just left that in the end, really. They should have just let him stay in that 1v2 situation, let him go down, and maybe just try and plus up over on the rest of the map there. It would have been a better decision. Syndrome are going to go for stillness here, going to give them a 2 cap if they get it, but Grim is going to interrupt that, and instead we're going to see a quick potential 2+2 v1 here versus Sable, as he's again that sacrificial lamb.
The e-bullying is strong in Orange Logo right now. Sable once more is going to be the target. Well, he has some allies. Yeah, Tage looking to join, but it's basically like a 5 versus 5 going on in mid right now as we see the respawn from Garion. He's going to be joining this fight once more, so a whole lot of players joining in to try and deny the stillness and also the cap on the altar. But look at the rest of the map. There's a 2 cap for Orange Logo. Super Smash can't afford to be suckered into sending all their players there, and as I say, that Sable is going to react. Gets the decap on mid. They need to send someone to the temple as well to get that decap and make sure they can't close that gap. But Feroz is getting absolutely burst down. He doesn't have his heal. 500 HP remaining. He's going to get chased. Sin doesn't have much support to give him on that Thief either, but he's dodging all the way across the map. And Feroz is going to be able to get away with that one.
Yeah, I mean, bless all the blinding powders there. The good difference there between the two NA and EU. That blinding powder really saved his life there, to be honest. And he got away with some stealth and was low HP. He's able to get back into the fight now as well elsewhere. Tage just tanking midpoint. We did see Stillness pick up as well from the blue team, so we are going to see 2 cap coming out for them at the moment with Garion in the downstate over on this altar side as well. So Orange Logo able to come back potentially, but we do see, of course, the res coming out as well. So good job from Super Smash to actually just keep... I feel very surprised at the moment.
This is incredibly strong showing. Sable is going to go down. Amstar is going to be here, but surely you don't go for this 1 versus 3 Amstar. This is interesting. Syndrome is going to be knocked into downstate, but I don't see any way that he can finish that one off. The res is going to be there. And Amstar now just sitting in this 1v3. Sin is going to leave, though, so maybe he can just survive there for quite a while and hold the decap. But Super Smash, while they do have control of the map technically, they've got that one cap, but the gate finally goes the way of Orange Logo, and realistically, they only have a 60-point lead. This is Temple of the Silent Storm. This map can be flipped on its head at any moment. Exactly. Orange Logo just have to show up when we get to 8:30 on the clock, when the double buff spawns. That is when Super Smash is really going to be tested right now. As Feroz going to be jumping onto Garion along with Syndroneer. That's another kill coming out for Orange Logo as they're starting to slowly but surely get a bit more of a grip on this map. Baines is going to go down over towards the altar, though, so the altar's still going to be kept by Super Smash. The neutral objective right now is this temple, but Amka can only last so long. Sable going to be trying to join this fight, but it's still 2 versus 3.
Yeah, I'm still wondering whether or not how long Tage is going to stay there. I keep looking at the map and just wondering whether or not Tage is going to move. They need to keep hold of this
5
cap
seconds till buffs.
Yeah, that's it. He's going down bot anyway, and they know that. So while he goes down bottom, actually, we're going to see a free cap here of Stillness. No one is in position here, and Orange Logo are so committed to this fight here over on the temple, they're not even going to be able to get anything out of this because they've lost Stillness. Okay, they've got the down now as well, but they've still got a cap in their favor. We are going to see the decap now by Syndroneer possibly, and they're going to stop that Stillness. So, you know, in the end, not too bad. Tage being downstairs is a really good move, but the problem is they're going to get the Moa, and Super Smash are out for blood. They want this series, and they want to get up to another spot in the league, and Tage should go down here. Easy peasy there for this team. And this is
such
terrible
bad news for Orange Logo. Tage now in downstate. Amstar looking to get the
ready to come down.
As Fantaram was saying, as you were saying, Syndroneer on this Thief is going to be able to get into whatever position he is needed and kind of force this into a road.
Garion's come down as well. They need to take advantage of this. The fact that, you know, they are even around the rest of the map, but Syndroneer's got a lot of work to do, and he's really going to have to be a hero for Orange Logo. Having 2 members here, especially with Garion as well. With the Revenant, Syndroneer is under constant pressure, but the thing is, phase traversal, the fact that that was nerfed is really going to help out Syndroneer, because otherwise he would be caught up. And he just needs to kite away, doing exactly what he's doing right now, move away, and just hit him every so often. But as Tage comes in, he can switch out. I can see Chaos Storm drop there as well. Scovo looking low over towards this side of the map over on the temple as well. Still one single cap is making all the difference here for this Super Smash team.
If that 3-minute distraction isn't enough evidence for my saying of Syndroneer is the MVP of this series, I don't know what is. He kept 2 people busy down on Tranquility for so long, and that meant that Super Smash couldn't just take that objective for free. They have, however, managed to take the gate for themselves, so they are still ahead on the map. They're still on double the points of Orange Logo, and there's only going to be one more Tranquility this game. They have to make something happen if they want to pull themselves back in. They've got a long way to go to catch up at this stage, and it's going to be 1 cap apiece now. It's all down to the temple, but it's not going to be able to be capped just yet. Sable is going to be there, but he's in a 2 versus 1. We need to see something happen for Super Smash right now to keep control of this map.
Yeah, they need to really sort these matchups out as well, Orange Logo. I mean, they're 2v1 now over on this side of the map. They need to make sure that when they've got that in their favor, that they don't lose elsewhere. They have to be able to sustain around the map, and they're actually not doing that so well at the moment. But they do get the kill down onto Grim over on this altar node as well. And Amstar looking to put that portal down to return later on, tries to pull out the block here as well. And we aren't going to see that do see the defender coming out. They're not able to evade that, unfortunately, as well. As and Syndroneer back over on this side of the map now as well. The portal is dropped. It's just going to jump back through it, and they knew that was going to happen. Gives himself some breathing room, pops back through it, and he fools both of them. But the thing is, they've both got so many ports, and Amstar is just going to and fro there.
Close.
But still, in all this time, they've still had the 1 cap over on mid, or they've at least maintained something. And Super Smash are playing a blinder at the moment. Whilst they're really going full ham. But are they sending the right people down here?
And this
Scovo and Baines?
If you send everybody down to try and contest that, then you just lose control of the rest of the map. Yes, you're going to get that 3 cap, but it's going to be instantly decapped when you finally get that buff. It's not going to actually last any time for Roars. It's going to be able to get Stillness for his team. So
no, they're not.
Oh, the denial! That must have been absolutely last split second right there. He channeled that for so long, but Syndroneer looking for the decap. Sable going to try and interrupt 1 more second. It is going to get decapped in the end, but Super Smash still holding onto that gate, and now we've got 1 versus 1s across the map.
I think they're going to go for a 2.
Stillness picked up here, but I mean, what difference does that make when you haven't got a cap?
Yeah, I thought Syndroneer was actually going to plus up over on Sable. I think actually that would have been a better idea there. And leave the Ellie mid.
Trouble.
I mean, they're really relying upon this buff now because they've been outnumbering not the whole time, but now they're going to send the Ellie there. They're going to be able to sustain, keep midpoint as well. And if Orange Logo are going to commit so many people down here, they really need to make sure they get this buff a lot quicker, because now they're going 3 versus 2. And Syndra knows that. Tager on the other side of the map should be able to maintain himself for a little bit of time here. He's obviously got that condition removal, but he's not going to be able to maintain it if it's turned into a Moa, and he's going to be going down with the Torment stacked up to 11 there. And yeah, we know he turned it all the way up to 11 when normally you can only turn it up to 10. Some people may know what I'm talking about, but Malphas
I think everybody knows what you're talking about there on that one.
I hope so.
Amka is in trouble down below, though. He's kind of outnumbered now, and so far this is going incredibly well for Super Smash. I can't believe how good of a game they're having right now. And Orange Logo, we've been talking about how they were the ones that felt coordinated on the last map. Well, it's the other way around this time. Bane's incredibly low. Garion looking to try and finish him off. Scovo desperately trying to save his teammate here. The heals are going to be there with that Elementalist, but Banes is completely out of cooldowns. Amka trying to finish him off.
Nice interrupt there on the air. Just coming out onto Banes, but he's going to be able to regenerate himself quite well. And Orange Logo not making anything at the moment. They're just going to have to sustain this. They've got the temple point in their favor as well as we move over towards midpoint, and that's a good knockback from Pharos, but he's 1v2 now. We are going to see the move out from Amka here as well. No, it's not. They're just going to plus up and just get this kill, but Orange Logo doing that elsewhere across the map, but Tager's got no damage. So that's the only problem with this build, unfortunately, as Scovo's still down bot with Banes there. Banes looks like he's moving back on out, but Scovo is going to drop here if he's not careful, getting the water overload out, and he's just been left by Banes with like really low HP and no cooldowns.
And this second we see Orange Logo somehow get control of the map on top, suddenly they've lost control of the bottom. Scovo is going to go down in the end, and that means Tranquility goes the way of Super Smash. They don't have the players on the map, Orange Logo, to get these decaps. They're going to try and get the ulti. They are going to be able to get that with Amstar going down, so they at least get to decap 1. But there are players in position to deny the decaps elsewhere. Feroz dropping down to the bottom.
We got the second one. Literally, the second Tranquility just popped up, which is why Tager's gone down there with Feroz. My bad, asking where Feroz was going, but maybe thinking about going for that cap of stillness, but no one was in the position to come out for that. Sorry, I was thinking, wait, what's happening?
Yeah, I was well confused.
It isn't 2 minutes 30, but they've still got 170 points, and it's doable if they decide where they're going to go here. They've got a downstate, they've got a full kill, and Amka just going down over in the mid. They should be able to overpower down on the Tranquility and grab themselves the map, and even the comeback here with the stillness, if it's possible. Now, Syndra is going to grab stillness. That's a 2 cap, and that should be enough maybe to bring them back in, but they need that decap on the temple very, very quickly. But Super Smash should be able to hold on to it in a very similar manner if they can get these bodies back on the map, but not if they lose members here as Garion goes down bot, and we are going to see that midpoint picked up by Orange Logo. This could be a really strong comeback, and all they need to do is sustain here over on this Tranquility buff with Garion down as well. It looks like Amstar might be joining him soon if he's not careful.
Yeah, Stillness still ticking away, so only 100 points difference right now, and Orange Logo honestly looking like they could somehow swing this game back in their favor after being behind for so long. Sable still going to be able to survive with that Elixir S, but Garion is going to be able to take on Tage over here for Sable. He's just about out of cooldowns, has his heal, needs to use it as soon as possible, but it's too late for Roz and Scovo. Should be able to finish this one out. Amka looking for the rest, but it's not going to happen. And that is disaster right now for Super Smash.
Well. That's what you've got to do. They've used this. They've rotated much better on this Tranquility. They've put one member down there. Maybe put a lot of damage pressure. So that's forced someone to support. Well, this is what I'm talking about. Like Super Smash had to force someone downstairs to support while Pharos was actually doing the damage. And unfortunately,
they don't need the Tranquility. They've just taken the 3 cap from Super Smash, baited them into going in 1 by 1. The 3 cap is going to come into play for Orange Logo. This is a ridiculous comeback coming out from Orange Logo. They're looking for the 2 versus 1. Amka going to be able to get the res from Gary, and Tage is in trouble, but I think it might be too little too late right now. They're only 30 points behind. Alter is going to get picked up by Super Smash. They can still hold on to this game right now if they can somehow get a decap elsewhere, but I don't see how.
As well. Well, no, Sable's just going to tank over on that point over on the other side of the map. It's too late, unfortunately. It really felt like actually Syndra could have just left a little bit earlier on that temple, but maybe they felt they couldn't get that actually and just stayed there
Orange Logo.
$1,000.
Orange Logo right now are in 6th position. Super Smash are in 7th. But if Super Smash win this game, they are tied in the scoreboard for points. And in that situation, the tiebreaker is done on head-to-head. But if Super Smash win this game, they've automatically won their head-to-head. Super Smash will overtake Orange Logo in the standings. If Super Smash can win this game, Orange Logo are guaranteed 7th place in the Pro League.
Yeah.
And if they win this game, they can potentially get 4th. That is a ridiculous difference in where they can finish in the standings. This game means so much for Orange Logo right now. They have to win this. But likewise for Super Smash, this game means an incredible amount. It could be $1,000 of difference for them if they can push themselves to 6th place. There's only one way to find out how it goes, though. Is Syndroneer trying to scout them out there. He's not going to be able to spot anyone, though. I love the new stealth start that we have at the start of every game now. For
yeah,
Ross.
it's coming out from various locations, but yeah, at the moment, I mean, looking at this early kind of split, it's not a bad matchup actually for Orange Logo coming out over on this mine node as well. I mean, Scovo, Elementalist, of course, Elementalist as Grim goes down over on the Henge actually. We see Baines and Syndroneer coming back maybe to just +1 again. Sable using that defense field there to make sure that he's not going to be able to taken out from afar by, of course, those projectiles coming from Syndroneer there. But he needs to just get out at this point at the moment, leaving Muted, because actually they're looking for the kill, they're not looking for the cap here. And Sable will be dropped into Elixir S.
Sable using Elixir X on 0 HP, and he gets out of it. Grim managing to get the heal in. That is a beautiful play coming out from Super Smash, keeping Sable alive despite getting down so low. You're absolutely right. Goes into down state. There's no way that he's going to be able to get back up from this one as well, as Grim will finish him off. And that is a good +1 right now for Super Smash. But Amka incredibly low over towards the mine. Somebody needs to get over there ASAP, and it's going to be Garion that joins the fray. Now 2 versus 2 is Grim looking to +1 this one as well. We've got 1 versus 1s elsewhere on the map, and Orange Logo waiting for the resurrection of Sin as we see where he's going to go.
Baines drops low versus Sable over on this side, and this is the, this matchup used to be a lot more sustained and easier for the Mesmer actually, but not as easy as, not as easy as Syndroneer coming in and just wrecking Sable. Not able to, Elixir S proc comes out, but that decision could cost Orange Logo, but look what's happened around the rest of the map. Sable going down, but also we do see Amka going down as well, but in the end, Scovo, he's going to be dropped into downstate. We need to see something coming out from this Orange Logo team to keep him up, and it might be the Vapor form actually.
Split second.
But Pharos can't do anything, and he goes for the decision of the damage rather than the res onto Scovo, which actually might have been the better decision there. Tage over on the midpoint, he's just going to be hanging out for now, as we see Baines looking like he's just trying to keep onto this second cap that they do currently have. So it's not too bad at the moment. Sable will respawn as well, so they need to put that into their minds, which they had. Syndroneer comes in to just equalize this, +1 this fight while Sable's coming in.
Decap mid comes out, and that is going to now mean Super Smash have the only cap on the map right now. 2 versus 2 at the Henge, and we're going to see Tage caught out in a 2 versus 1 in the middle of the map. There's nobody nearby, and the mobility isn't going to be available by the nearer players, but it looks like they're not going to keep going on this fight. Garion going to be heading over towards the Henge as Amstar, his ally, goes down there. He needs to be over at that side node, but still just a 1 versus 1 over at the mine as well, as we see Grim versus Feroz battling it out right now. The 2 Revenants taking on this 1 versus 1. Oh, sorry, one of them's Grim's playing Druid again. Did Grim? No, it's Garion on Rev.
Yeah,
I can't deal with the 2 Gs.
The Gs, but Syndroneer is going to +1, and that means that Grim's going to have a lot of trouble here, actually. I'm surprised that Syndroneer has not put out the Vellum there to just put him into stone, but maybe, not choosing to use that there, but could potentially use it now as Amstar comes in, and that's why it's popped it indeed. We aren't going to see that working out for him in the end, unfortunately. Block comes out from Amstar there, and he's going to be protected. Syndroneer might opt to just get out of this fight, although we do see now Amka coming in to equalize things up, but Scovo is here as well in a 3v2 situation. They can do that for a while Grim is out of the map. Tage over on the midpoint though needs to survive for as long as possible, and look at this, Baines is actually opting to leave that point open because Tage is in a lot of trouble, and that's a good plan from Super Smash to come in here, but Tage taken down into the downstate with the burst that comes out from Sable. Is Baines going to be able to save his life? No, he's actually going to opt to stay out of that situation and just keep the point over on the Henge contested, and that probably was the best decision, because otherwise he might have actually been taken down there as well. But Sin is being chased at. He's got a lot of movement to make here, and he's going to have to move over towards the Henge to actually equalize up this fight. Bane's going down as well. This is very messy from Orange Logo at the moment. They cannot sustain well at all.
No, they absolutely can't. And Super Smash, I don't know where this team has come from. They're certainly not the team we saw on map 1, but they're somehow giving Orange Logo a run for their money, and they're starting to actually run away with this game. They're on double the points right now as well, so if they can keep this up, they're going to slowly but surely rocket this game out of control, and there's not a whole lot Orange Logo can do about it, or at least so it seems. There's 2 people going over towards Henge, though, so it's going to be Grim in a 2 versus 1. I don't think this is one that he can win either, as Baines and Syndrome are going to be there. Sin already looking for the decap as well, but Grim, nice jump straight onto the point.
Yeah, Grim doing a great job, but Moa comes out and he's going to be dropped. Amka going to be coming in as well. Is he going to be able to do anything about this? Don't think he will be. But the Rez, oh no, actually the Rez comes out, but he's going to get mowed as well. If they can take him out, that would be really good for them. But he's actually going to have to bail off point there. And obviously that from 10 to 6 seconds while in mower form, not helping him out at all. Tage looking low on the other side of the map as he gets mowed. And we're just bird switching here. Bird watching on Forest of Niflwell with your host, Jebro, and also Munchables. But he's going to be absolutely fine here as well.
Over at the mine.
Well, hasn't been rare in the last about 10-20 seconds, but at the moment Scovo, now they've rotated those people in well to mine, but at the moment they're not able to get any real pressure out, and it feels like Super Smash they've got focus on all points, but they've got enough sustain. They're dealing with Syndrome actually quite well because he can't +1 fast enough, and then he's just drawn into a 2v2. But this is what they need to do. They need to use that portal, and they need to use that mobility to their favor. They need to outnumber, force a fight elsewhere, move through the portal, and then engage elsewhere. But look, they've got the 2 members here. They've already moved, and Super Smash are on this, they're on this map, being very mobile, very strong themselves. And they're holding it fantastically well.
But the health bars are incredibly low. Amstar is going to go down. There's 4 men on him. There's no way he's getting back up. And Sable as well looks like he might be the next one to follow. Elixir S keeps him alive a little bit, but it's not going to be quite enough. The heals are going to be there, though. He has support from his team coming on in. Amka doing a good job to keep his engineer alive, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Now being a man down in this fight, and Syndrome immediately leaves to go and get the decap on the Henge, but Feroz is going to drop. And Super Smash are able to turn this one around. Baines is dropped as well. Sin gets the decap, but is immediately going to be answered by Amstar, who's happy to get that cap. And he's a Mesmer. He can jump straight back into this fight amid if it's even necessary. Super Smash just playing, I mean, I keep on saying playing a blinder, but they absolutely are. I can't think of a better phrase for it because they are running away with this series and might just be able to push this to 2-1.
I think at the moment it looks like it. I mean, there's nothing that Orange Loco can do. As soon as Syndrome gets into a fight there, it starts to initiate into more sustain, like he has to leave. And as he leaves, they're outnumbering them. So it's like, you know, he can't +1 elsewhere. They're already being outnumbered and he can't sustain on the fight. So he has to stay over on the side, just watching it, or leaving Tage in this position. Grim going down on the other side of the map, obviously. Very good for Orange Logo to push mid now. But can Tage hold it? And do they want to move him off point? They're slowly but surely gaining points here in what are very, actually, no, it is a very tanky Super Smash composition here. But now they're in the point. They're doing a fantastic job. Tage is performing very well, putting out his blocks, using his mace very, very defensively, of course, giving the heals and the support that the team needs to now push this and get those decaps. They're knocking opponents off of the point there to grab the decap even further, as Amstar just trying to hold on himself as well, with Sable pulling out that heal. Are we going to see some focus damage coming out into Pharos here? Possibly. Syndrome is going to pick up an extra burst there on Amstar, bringing him into the down state. And are we going to be able to see this res coming out? I doubt it. Sable thinking about trying to get the gyro off. You can see that it's still above his head. Don't think we're going to see that coming out at all. And obviously going into full death there. So now we are seeing Orange Logo again slowly coming back, doing it a little bit earlier in the game this time, so that the timer isn't going to run out.
Yeah, absolutely. Fully necessary on that one. Garion going to be trying to help out Sable, who once again gets a very late Elixir S proc, but it's not going to be enough this time. But Syndrome might actually be traded straight back across. So a nice heal comes out at the very last second. Sable is dropped. And Orange Logo, now with 2 side nodes, have found themselves a bit of an advantage. There's only a 40-point gap at this stage, and Baines might just be going down over towards the mine. Here we go, as Syndrome are going to join this fight. +1 once more, and Syndrome again coming to the rescue. Grim trying to escape this one, jumping up as high as he can, but it's not going to be
interrupt
enough
heal.
here.
Yeah, but I mean, he actually dealt with that extremely, oh no. Oh no!
Oh God!
No, but he's in between a rock and a hard place, literally there, and he's going to be knocking a pylon. They probably could have just left him there, in all honesty, but obviously that would have been not very nice. But Baines now as well, left in a 1v1, very low HP. It feels like they've done this before, where they've left a situation a bit too early, and Syndrome are keeping the pressure on elsewhere, and actually they end up losing out in this fight. To be honest, still got the one cap there over towards the Henge, maybe trying to use this situation, draw the player out and pick out the extra kill, but they have to be careful as Baines is very low. But Pharos goes down elsewhere over on the other side of the map with Distortion Stomp potentially, which doesn't come out in the end. And in that situation where you're only one person now getting the plus over on this Henge, of course, as you saw the entry of the other Smash member, not able to get that down unfortunately in the end. But Baines still moving around the map, is permanently on low HP at the moment. We are going to see that Moa coming out very strong, and Amco is going to be taken into the down state here as well. One Capaboost with 8-point score lead at present for the team of Super Smash. This is very intense action at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. An incredibly strong first 5 minutes from Super Smash, but then the last 5 minutes have been incredibly strong from Orange Logo, and we are 3 points away from neck and neck. But Garion is going to go down, which means Orange Logo will take the lead by 2 points here. And oh my goodness, Super Smash so close to being able to push themselves up to 6th place in the standings and force Orange Logo down into that last place position aside from Car Crash. But it's all so far away from them right now. Super Smash don't seem to be able to find their footing once more. Sable going to get caught in a Moa. He's going to be dropped down. Amka looking to try and get this res, but I don't think he's going to be able to against 2 players. They should finish him off, and they do. Sable dropped once more, and now Amka in a 1 versus 2. Skovo is going to be dropped as well. You're right. Feroz isn't going to be able to get this res, and that means maybe the mine can be decapped. Oh, maybe the Henge, sorry, can be decapped here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think Feroz may actually be the sacrificial lamb, as I kind of said a couple of times on the temple map here, and they're going to go towards midpoint. But it's taken Orange Logo a long time for this fight to be resolved here over on this mine, and Amcar just stopping the cap for a little bit of time here as well, as the lead is now in favor of Orange Logo with 3 minutes 30 seconds left on the map as well. Feroz very low HP, not able to get him, and is going to be, wow, what a place to die there, unfortunately. Syngenid not able to do anything about that. They needed to make the decision of going to mid here, not going for the rescue attempt potentially of Feroz, but they now have to move back. Syngenid has to move back to +1 against Sable, get the kill on Sable, and now needs to move back over towards the midpoint. Does Baines have a portal available? Maybe he can drop that portal, move to mid, and go for this big team fight situation. If they win this team fight, they will then most likely win the game, and that is probably going to be their movement. You can see the movement now of the Mesmer moving to mid, but Sin is actually going to go for the decap here on Henge, and that's that good sustainability, and especially when you've got the portal as well, that is the maximum mobility that this team is looking for here in this map, and they've used it perfectly here. Keeping the map contested as well as keeping the mine in their favor will push them for the win.
Yeah, if Super Smash can't win this team fight now, they will lose the game. There's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Baines, it's just an illusion, my friend. You can't finish him off just there. That's not going to be a free kill for you. And Feroz now is going to be able to get the 2 versus 1 with Sin onto Sable at the Henge. This is terrible news for Super Smash. After a ridiculously good performance from them, it might just be all over as Sable is going to be finished off. That should be the Henge going the way of Orange Logo. They still have the mine, and Grim is not going to be able to take this one on his own. Over towards mid, I don't think they're really going to be able to win out that team fight now. Amstar trying to help out, +1ing onto Baines, but Sin is waiting in the wings to jump on in, and in fact it's going to be Grim going down in the end. Oh, does manage to survive just now, but isn't going to be able to hold on to life much longer. Good jump to be able to survive that one, but I'm not sure if that's quite enough, as they're now 60 points behind Orange Logo. This 2-cap has been more than enough now for Orange Logo to push this to a victory.
This is one of the reasons why as well they've not been able to take Tage down, and he's been using this statue as well as the rest of the area to line of sight ridiculously well, to the point where Amka and Grim have really held this point. They've got the cap now, but they've been held in this 1v2 in favor of themselves for so long that they've just done, they've almost thrown the game on that 2v1 just to get that 1 cap there.
And there it is. That is going to be...
Wasn't the only
reason, decap
obviously.
Comes out on mine as well, but it's so...
Got 50
so
points
late.
max. Yeah, I mean,
know.
they need the decap
100 or 85 points behind as well. Super Smash.
Tage is going to guard that point with his life. I want that money, man. I want that money. Show me the money. We've got no ROM on this time on this team, so we can't say easy money now, and it hasn't been easy money.
It definitely hasn't been easy. Super Smash have been an absolutely phenomenal team in this series. They've been so close to taking it. They had a fantastic start to this map. They managed to win the second map, but it was just too little on the Forest. And Orange Logo, I think they basically managed to go from, instead of going for these rotational plays, they kind of just went, okay, we're going to team fight you, Super Smash. We're going to take you on, and we'll see who are going to be the better team fighters. And all in all, they managed to win out the fights overall, and they managed to go for those sustained battles.
Yeah, I mean, they've managed to survive them, pardon me, and move out, but they have actually rotated quite well in the. It's more about that portal combination with the Thief as well, and how they can push out from there. If they utilize that well, they can be very effective, and they've shown that a couple of times, not early in the map, unfortunately, but it was a mix of some of those smaller skirmishes, able to sustain a little bit more, and also the fact that Tage was 1v2 over on the midpoint. Yeah, it's getting interesting because once you go into the freeway tie and it's not head-to-head and then it's just score difference, it does change things up because that head-to-head is so important, and it just really makes you think during the season how many times teams could have just not lost a game just through a couple of mistakes, and on Temple and things like that, where teams could have just won a map just because the unpredictability of the actual map itself. It's so important, and today is one of those days because we've got unpredictable maps and maps that they don't play as often as the others in other tournaments. So, seeing how they split out in this map, first of all, with more guns over on the red team, TCG on the blue. We can see Helsef dropping the portal more than likely over towards that mansion node, as we do look for the 1v1, which is what I was talking about earlier on. And really, that is an important 1v1 between the Engineer and obviously the Warrior as well. And Tayskin's going to be looking for that early kill, hopefully, onto Denshi. Now, whether or not that's going to happen is another thing, because Denshi gets into a better position here and is going to go over towards the midpoint, switching up with Rom. And that's a really good swap out there before TCG as we move over towards this midpoint, as Xernex is dropping extremely low here and hasn't got the sustain he had before. Still does get a lot of those conditions cleansed there, and good support from More Guns Than Roses. Good port up top as well. He healed, and that is going to be a good defense there by More Guns. And actually Rom moving out in the end, and he's going to have to regenerate there while moving back over towards Tayskin. So do see the +1 coming out from Helsef here as well.
And in the meantime, More Guns managed to get the windmill as well. Rom getting a lot of damage onto him, but the fight continues as there's a big battle going on at mid, and it's an incredibly important battle as well. 2 versus 2 so far, and it's going to be very sustained. But the thing is, More Guns have managed to secure themselves a small lead, but it's not really enough for them right now. And actually, I think they've ported over to recap that windmill for themselves as well, so they will be able to get that 1-cap advantage once more. The 1v1 continues over towards the mansion also, and then there's the massive fight at mid, but Tayskin incredibly low here. Rom trying to finish him off, but I don't think he's going to be able to just yet. This one should go on for a little bit longer.
Look at the amount of damage that comes out from the Engineer, especially going into that trait now as well. But the thing is, he is very low, like you said. He's going to pull out the stability as well as the stealth gyro, but breaks that quite early. I feel like maybe he could have even just kept in it for a little bit longer to regenerate himself, but he's got support from Zuik here as well as Dank. But the thing is, it's not a lot of healing coming out from these boys, but the pressure is really on in a 3v2, exactly, as Rob does get dropped into downstate, and TCG unable to get any points on the board at the moment versus this team that is currently 4th in the league.
Yeah, right now this is looking like the second game of Super Smash versus Orange Logo. The team that should be favourites, that should be winning this with relative ease, is starting to lose out fights, but Xionix did go down over.
That almost right there off the top, and that start 5 from Frey wins the cap for them. So that's fantastic work from him with their control. It's a good job from him in getting them that cap and getting them some points on the board. We are looking for a potential save here from Frey, as Dank is almost taken into downstate there and looks like he's going for the kill in the end rather than the res, obviously, but Dank doing a good job at just avoiding Frey until that he is taken out. And there's nothing really Frey could have done other than what he did just there. Made a good decision. Dank going to be moving back out here as well, chasing Demon there from behind, just waiting to see where he's going to go, and will be plussing this fight over towards the midpoint, grabbing himself some stealth there as well. Xernex trying to escape over towards the potential decap of the windmill there. Nice move with the portal, but he's not going to be able to do anything much about this. Actually, I don't think Helsef has got any ports available to get on the point. He doesn't indeed, and unfortunately they do lose that cap in the end, and that was unusually suckered out there actually from from Xenix. Good job. Normally wouldn't catch Helseth or one of the members of TCG out with that one, but did in the end. You can see the Moa coming out there onto Lord Asura as we are back on Birdwatch duty. But we are going to actually see Xenix draw quite low here as well. Needs to be very careful pulling out the block. He's going to have to just run out of the point here and line of sight potentially to gain himself up some HP, but no one follows up for the potential kill here either as well. And Tayskin is very low, uses his bulwark gyro to make sure he's going to have some defense there. Does have his heal, no interrupt coming out, even with the even with the extended amount of cooldown usage. But he could go down here as well if he's not very careful. But Lord Asura still, they performed out of the way, and that was him down before Tayskin went down. And this is messy for TCG as Freylina goes down, Denshi goes down as well as Lord Asura, and they didn't have they were outnumbered, which is why there's so many caps in favor of this TCG team. But that free cap ain't going to matter squat at the moment because they're all going to be decapped here very, very shortly.
Yeah, absolutely. What a play coming out from Morgans. Incredibly strong team fight from them. They get 3 kills off the back of it. Almost a full team wipe. Now Helseth in trouble as Dank just pressuring him, making sure Xenix can get this cap onto the windmill. They get the mansion as well. Mid still contested though, so at least TCG have held on to something. But this is actually a very close game. Much closer than I was expecting it to be. TCG managed to close that small lead that Morgans built up with to start. But right now Morgans are in control of this map. And Helseth looking to try and do something about that, but Xenix is just meeting him wherever he goes and giving him a run for his money. And honestly, Xenix is looking incredibly strong in this map. We already saw him go for that great portal play earlier on, and now he's going for Helseth straight up. Dank comes in as well. That is going to be Helseth going down. Freylina looking for the res right now, but it's not going to happen.
It's going to happen. He's mowed as well, and he started the res before he got mowed, so the res came out, and I think that fooled them a little bit because he maybe thought that they was actually going to disengage from that, but he didn't, and he stuck with it, and that was a good move from Freylina there. And Lord Asura moving back over towards the midpoint. I mean, you know, I could see that was going to happen just judging by the bars, but I felt like it was almost, you know, that's all she wrote kind of situation, which is why I moved to mid. I feel like
it should have been that's all she wrote for Helseth right there, but Morgans honestly, in my opinion, dropped the ball on that one.
To mid though, now
Helseth is alive. They get this play onto mid, and that means Zurich is all on his own in a 1 versus 3. Some players have to get over here from Morgans as soon as possible. The mansion is going to be a point of contention as well as Tayskin incredibly low, doesn't have his heal available and will get dropped into the downside. Dank isn't going to be able to do anything about this one as there are too many players from TCG here. That is going to be the mansion going the way of the blue team. Dank trying to escape, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get away. Helseth is going to fall off the house though, and that means that Dank will escape with his life.
Yeah, decap over on the the recap over on the mansion for TCG as Ron moves back over. Now they know Dank is looking out for that decap there, trying to force them over into that fight as well. But Asura just porting back up there, has a ton of condition damage, so many bleed stacks as well, gets res in a pretty good easy position. Just jukes out some people there down towards on the stairs. Just not enough room in the end to get that damage onto him and the confirmed kill, but that's going to happen right now.
Yeah, Asura does go down and he's completely surrounded. Look at this, TCG just bail out of this side. They don't want to be part of this anymore. It's going to be Asura going down as well. And this is another team fight that's looking pretty good for Morgans and Roses. They're winning this one out. Helseth might be the next target who portals back up to mid to get onto this fight against Zurich, but has to blink straight on out of there. He can't afford to get burst down by a Revenant at this stage, but it's still 4 versus 5. Morgans with an advantage here. They have to try and make something happen though, because TCG, despite being a man down, have managed to take the windmill as well. They've already got the clock tower and they're starting to rack up points. Morgans, you've got to make something happen.
Oh god, Helseth really dropped far there, took a lot of damage, and that's going to be the end of him for sure, because he dropped so far as well. And the Thief's saying, thank you very much, I'll just pick that kill up as well. And now that will really be difficult for this blue team. You say he'll pick up
the kill, Helseth gets rezzed, he got to blink away.
Again?
And they weren't able to finish him off. I didn't quite see who rezzed him.
That would have been wrong, yeah. It's just again, another point where I move away, expecting fully that the red team are going to take advantage of this. I mean, they were outnumbering potentially as well there, so, you know, my bad for not picking up, so apologies first of all for that. But, you know, in a situation where you feel as if normally you move with the camera because you expect that kill to come out. And Dank there is going to be able to just move away as well, pulling out the nice star 5 as well as the traversal. Good combination from Frey is really going to put Dank in trouble, and he needs to move out. But he's not able to, and Frey pins him down like anything and says, You're not having none of that, Sonny Jim. And now 80 points ahead as well, as Tayskin's low HP needs to hold on here while Dank just respawns into the map. But they've got to contest the windmill as well. Not too bad for Red Team, as they will respawn over on this side of the map as well, of course, as Dank will be coming out very, very shortly. They just need to sustain and move these people into the right positions. But Tayskin is moving to mid when he could have just stayed in Mansion there, maybe.
Yeah, I think he might be right on that one, but he's going to be going over towards Mansion again now, going to be trying to take that 1 versus 1 against Denshi. I think he'll get there before the decap actually happens, so should be okay, but still this 4 versus 3 right now. And
now this is what I'm talking about. Can they sustain the 3v4 here as well? Because Tayskin is on his own on the other side of the map. Tayskin is sustaining on the other side of the map versus 2, or was. Now then, the rest of the More Guns team had to actually move out as well, knowing that potential map presence wasn't really in their favor there, to be honest. But Tayskin actually held for quite a long time versus 2 members of TCG, so they needed to really make sure they got that kill, or at least move out into the map a little bit more successfully here, and actually have started to change this up as they get the Mansion. With Helseth pushing over there with Rom, pushing Tayskin away, but Tayskin moved out and didn't get killed there. That was a really, really good decision for him to not take that 1v2 and move back into the map now as well. So Tayskin moving back up to mid is going to be looking for potentially, I don't know, Rom going down there as well. It's not looking too bad for More Guns to actually pick up 2-cap here.
If More Guns can get the 2-cap as well, they still have 5 minutes on the clock. That is enough time for them to get themselves back in this game. Fraley are going to be getting the full cap onto the Mansion for TCG, trying to hold on to that point as long as they can. But the thing is, Dank is sneaking up. He's got that stealth available, and it looks like he might be able to get the decap. Freylina has noticed, though, phased reversal will stop that decap coming out, and immediately you see Dank just leave. He knows that he's not needed. He's forced that rotation out of TCG, and now he can go +1 to fight elsewhere. It's 1 side cap apiece. It's all about the team fight on mid right now, but it's 3 versus 3. It's all going to be down to whether they can get a kill as Dank enters this fight or not.
Yeah, I mean, this is very sustained. It's very tanky, and, you know, actually showing that the Thief is still not too bad on this map, but the tankiness and sustainability coming out from TCG is winning out in the end as well. And we saw that just from maybe Super Smash, that even, you know, I know that had the Orange Logo had the Thief and Basilisk when it comes out from Dank there. But obviously, you know, the sustain feels like it might be more successful for these teams, because even Super Smash were almost able to take a win, not just saying it was because of the Thief, but also obviously because Tage was playing DH. But maybe the Thief isn't the answer. And this is what we're trying to answer today. You know, is Thief going to be the answer for some of these teams in the finals? Is that going to be the thing that pushes the, you know, into their favor to take these matches? Rom just standing on the portal, being very cautious that he's going to be taken down here. Does go back through it over towards this windmill node with 2-cap in their favor. You've got to be thinking right now that this is a TCG game, because they're managing it very, very well at the moment as well. And Tayskin trying to get something out over on the midpoint, at least holding people there as well. Probably has to chase Denshi. We're going to see the equalization out there by the Thief, but no real answer to this 2-cap for TCG at the moment as well. Just sticking on Freylina, watching his movement, as we do see the knockdown coming from Demon, obviously over in that air attunement, but not able to chase Freylina as well. Tayskin does get bursted there by the Revenant, of course, and he's going to have to leave. Gets his Stealth Gyro off, manages to heal. Luckily, he had that cooldown available.
Oh, the Onyx goes down elsewhere, though. And it looks like it's over towards the windmill. Not really anything that can be done about that one. TCG are going to get the windmill. After it being so close for so long, TCG just completely run away with the map. And this is kind of what we've seen at TCG in recent weeks. It's felt like a lot of their games have been closer than was necessary. But then when it starts to get towards the end, they kind of just somehow managed to retake control of the map, managed to snowball it in their favor. And I mean, from what was basically neck and neck 5 minutes ago, and I think as well, a massive factor can always be just Not even necessarily who gets the buff, but the pressure that those buffs provide to the rest of the map. If you go a little bit too aggressive for those buffs and you send 3 or 4 people down to get the Tranquility, it can mean that you end up losing out on buffs elsewhere. Look at this stealth play coming out from TCG as they all stack up deciding where they want to go. And we're going to see the roaming death squad coming down towards the gate by the looks of things as Demon is on his own and he's going to get burst down here. Doing a good job to kite away a little bit, and Tayskin is going to arrive as well. So not quite as successful as TCG might have hoped for on that one.
Yeah, I could see that happening. That's why I didn't stay on the midpoint for some reason. I was just like, oh, I don't feel like this is going to actually occur, and it didn't in the end either. But it would have been good to see the mistakes that came out there, all the well-played part of that from More Guns, of course. But Tayskin just going to disengage there as well. Xenix in a 1v1 between himself as Rom is going to be marred off point. Does it feel like the Druid isn't as strong as it was either before as well, and is having a couple of problems here and there. But we are going to see Tayskin over towards this midpoint as we see the equalization of this fight occur. And that's actually really good. You want that high pressure power damage onto Denshi so he can't be so aggressive with his conditions. But the thing is, you've got the Elementalist here. Denshi is not going to be doing a lot of damage in that situation, unfortunately, but it does feel like it's starting to win out now. Xenix going down on this other side of the map as Freylina, funnily enough, performing the task of the thief, is able to +1 very, very effectively. Dank not maybe as quick enough as, the difference here, the big difference here, Xenix died, Helseth lived. Yeah. That's a very, very big difference in that situation. And now Dank can possibly go for the decap here over on the altar. But those decisions are very, very key. And unfortunately, in the end, I don't think he really had much choice in terms of that 2v1, to be honest, because Freylina just came out of nowhere. Demon very low HP over on this midpoint. Feels like he maybe should have just held off a little bit because he just jumped straight into members of TCG there, and Tayskin's got no chance of getting him back up, and that's going to be both of them wiped out completely. Big mistake there really from both of them. I feel like they both moved into a really, great situation for TCG. It's almost like, just come over here. Yeah,
it feels like both teams are working together right now to get TCG
win. Really?
But
Jesus.
TCG
maybe should have said that God, after this season that we've had anyway. Lord Helseth moving over to +1 versus Lord Asura. Feels like it's going to be more of a rotation between these two
Helseth
players.
versus Lord Asura. I'm not sure that one's going to go out. I think
no.
In the team
He's
as well.
going over with him to just +1, but he's just going to switch out as well. Dank just immobilized.
Going to die to Condis.
And full damage.
Unlooked.
As he moves over to hell. But we'll be respawning from hell quite shortly. And he's just going over to midpoint as well. Denshi versus Tayskin here as well. Like, this matchup is one of the ones which is going to happen a lot. But Lord Asura comes in to offer some support in what would be more of a switch up. And Tayskin he's going to have to move out of that, or at least keep the Elementalist there as well. As Zooik does drop out into downstate over on this side of the map with Freylina and Helseth pushing away Demon as well. Even with the healing support that comes out from that combination, not able to do enough to keep him up and keep him back in the game to get back into this map. Still very, very close though, as we only have a 8-point lead currently. We will see also picked up with the stillness coming out on the map now as well, and we're looking to see who will be able to grab this cap, which will be massive. And Dank gets the interrupt there onto Freylina. No cap coming out for TCG as of yet. They'd already had the 2 double cap there as well. The quadruple cap would not be a great thing as they take down Dank here as well. And the phase traversal kind of nerf as well didn't really matter to Frey, apparently.
I feel like this is the difference right there between Dank and Syndranir. When you see Syndranir on that thief, he'll go in, he'll get the interrupt, and then he'll escape with his life as well. Dank, not able to pull that off, does end up going down for his trouble, and that means now TCG once more have a little bit of extra pressure to work with. They've already got the 2 cap for themselves, and they're starting to rack these points up. Zooik has been caught up in a mower. He's not got much HP remaining, and the Condis are ticking. He will go down. Denshu finishes it as Helseth is looking to get stillness. He did get it before that interrupt hit in the end, so Alto was decapped there as well, but Helseth immediately ports over there and will be able to get the recap. That means 4 cap in favour of TCG in just a second's time, and that will be terrible news for More Guns if they want to stay in this series. Xenix is going to be going down as well. He's got his heal back up though, so he might be able to survive for just a little bit longer here. which he will be able to pull that one off in the end. So doesn't quite get taken down immediately, but the fight continues, and with the 4 cap in favor of TCG, all they need is these fights to continue for a long time.
Yeah, a minute and a half until we see Tranquility and Stillness coming out again. Just looking for the kill here, maybe potentially on Tayskin as well. But it doesn't look like, I'm not sure it's going to happen, actually. And they're being very, very offensive. The problem is that Lord Asura's here, so, you know, what's that going to do in terms of sustainability? You know, it's not going to mean anything. We're seeing it's going down on the other side of the map as well. TCG will be able to hold out very, very well, and we are actually going to see the decap there by Dank over on this Altar, but choosing not to go for the full cap there, as you know that Freylina is always trailing him down, and he's doing the job very well of the Revenant at the moment. He's not as mobile as the Thief, because obviously the Thief has all got ports forever, and the Rev needs a target to port on. But he's still doing a fantastic job at trying to keep eyes onto Dank as well. So, you know, free cap coming out. In the end, unfortunate 4 more guns here. The only comeback that they're going to be able to get is going to be this potential mid-fight, getting this quick kill and even moving into Tranquility. They need this to come back into the game. It will be their last chance potentially, because we are 320 points for TCG.
Yeah.
They want their last game of the season to be a strong one, and they want to show they can win this.
The thing is as well, maybe Tranquility is too late, because they're managing to hold on to this fight. Demon goes down as well. Lord Asura still hasn't been finished off, and actually this fight looks like it's going to go the way of TCG. It's going to be Zeonix over towards the temple to finish off Azura, but there are 3 kills going the way of Morgans over here. Zeonix did get rallied, so that's pretty good for Morgans, but the rest of the fight goes horrendously for them, and TCG
that's pretty good for Morgans.
So far ahead.
I'm pretty sure it's not good for for Morgans if Zuik doesn't get rallied. It's not great.
What? No, I'm saying it's terrible that their whole team just got wiped.
Yeah. But you said something. Don't worry, it's fine now. Don't worry. But yeah, we are going to see.
I must have mixed up my words.
It was a little bit. I was thinking, wait, what's happening here? But Asura did get rallied, and yeah, that maybe was the confusion as I kind of spoke in between what you were saying. But yeah, Lord Asura getting rallied was really, really strong as well. Kept them in the fight over on the temple node. But yeah, not looking great at all for Morgans. There's nothing they can really do. We've seen Stillness picked up, but, you know, they're not able to get anything out of that. Tranquility at the moment as well, looking like it's just going to be fended off, to be honest. And, you know, TCG can probably power down and get it if they really need to. But the free cap's going to come out as Rom gets the cap over towards the Altar side. Yeah, it's been over for a while, guys. And that's TCG rolling into second position at present for this league at the moment.
Yeah, fully dependent on the final game of the day as well. We'll see. TCG, though, will now be tied with rank 55 Dragons for that first place spot. And it's going to be all down to Vermilion on whether they can catch up and force another 3-way tie between these 3 European titans. But just 20 points remaining for TCG. They only have 1 cap now, so good decaps by Morgans, but I feel like it's kind of too little too late when your opponent is already on 480 points.
I almost just gave up myself there because I was just stuck on Dank for a while, just seeing what he was going to do. But yeah, I mean, we've seen strange things happen in the past, but you know, we've not really seen anything that can bring more guns out in this. And actually feel like they've played, you know, even quite well in the first map, but
yeah,
maybe for TCG more as well is how they work out a comp versus a Thief on Battle of Kylo, and they did, you know, cope with it quite well. Is that enough with the Thief that is so mobile on this map? We'll have to wait and see as we go into the splits on the map.
Absolutely. Here we go. Rank 55 up against Vermilion. Could be the absolute match of the Pro League right now as we see the starting splits and kind of the roaming death squad plan coming out from Vermilion that we see basically every game with a Thief in right now. Texby is going to be the first one on this site right now, but he's going to get some reinforcement from Levin as well. It's going to turn into a 4 versus 3 actually, as everybody from rank 55 suddenly arrives on the scene. All 5 members from both teams as we immediately see Triffin leave the scene to try and get the decap onto the windmill, but he's going to be chased by Levin as well, so that's going to be countered out, and we're still going to have a single cap apiece on those side nodes. Oracle, in fact, going to be the one there with that portal, and Triffin going to contest that one as well as the team fight continues over at mid. It's going to be RG taking a lot of damage. He seems to be the target for everyone, but he does still have his heal available, so he should be all right for a little while just yet.
Yeah, he's just waiting to pop the second one. That's what he's done exactly when the team come up with the damage. Jumps into some cleave as well and grabs some extra healing for himself as well. Yeah, Texby is in a lot of trouble here. He's on the warrior, needs to maybe even pop that heal to grab himself some resistance. Shouldn't be afraid to, and probably should have done in that situation actually. And there's nothing they can do about that. They try and go for the res here, but it's not going to be done at all. Zan opting to go for that healing turret as well. He's going to be held. Oh no, it's going to be okay for now actually, Elixir X proc as well, although he might be in trouble if it doesn't need cooldowns left as well available to him. Mankal going into mid is still being pressurized as well as Zan, who needs to get some support here very desperately, and there's more caps on the point at the moment for Vermilion, and they're going for a ton of damage on this point. Zan still is running more than anything. And will be dropped into downstate as Triffin comes in from the side, looking to offer some extra potential poison here, as well as some focus damage while they can't get the res. But elsewhere, let's have a look what's going on around the map.
Yeah, so far Zan is going to be taken down here. Mankal looking for a cheeky res, but he's not going to be able to find it in the end. Vermilion winning out that fight overall. They're now 20 points ahead. Still the caps just one apiece, but Mankal gets dropped as well. That's a second kill going the way of Vermilion, but Triffin is going to be forced into downstate as well, but there is going to be the res from Curve. So they can't answer for this one. Oracle trying to save Mankal, but he's overextended himself. Might have to blink out and will do so. Gets onto the roof, so nice little blink from him is going to keep him alive. Vermilion managing to win the skirmish. They've won themselves a 30-point lead as well, but again, the caps maintaining at where they have been from the start. But Alcor in a 1 versus 2, and it's not a good situation for him. He's on that tanky druid, but is it going to be tanky enough right now? Has his heal, and here comes RG.
Yes, and that was perfect. I was thinking that maybe RG shouldn't have gone into that situation, but he had Celestial Avatar available, and now they can sustain very, very well. And actually, the focus switches back onto themselves as Oracle is potentially going to go down here. Distortion used, but Alcor and RG there able to focus so hard while Snowball just tanks on point here as well, and Alcor coming back for the defensive him. But elsewhere, rank 55 Dragons need to take advantage, and actually the Oracle is going to be taken out potentially by Triffin as well as other members. Heal available quite soon. The jumping puzzle quality coming out from the Oracle as he performs extremely well, and Triffin is going to be pounced upon by rank 55 members. Needs to be careful himself, doesn't have much regeneration left, maybe even he can just step out of combat for a moment to get back up into full HP there. Needs to be very careful as Alcor is just currently being focused down, but RG is there to watch out for him.
Yeah, not feeling too fantastic, but the heal is going to change that in the end, and he's going to be able to top himself up a little bit more. But the decap did come out. Vermilion have lost their hold on the mansion, and now is rank 55 in control of the map, and they're slowly but surely starting to close that gap that Vermilion did manage to build up. Oracle finally might drop. He's been alive on low HP for so long. The Condis are on him. In fact, didn't actually quite get to stack that up. But there it is. The heal comes out again, and Oracle survives. But Zan might not be so lucky as he is dropped elsewhere on the map. There's many people from Vermilion here to finish him off. 3 versus 1 as Levin's now the last man remaining at the windmill, and he will get dropped in the end. So Vermilion are going to be able to win out the windmill. It's the far node as well. So bad news for rank 55 Dragons. But mid is now owned by rank 55 Dragons, though, so Vermilion have to get control of the map elsewhere while they have this advantage.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Mankal getting the cap up there on mid, and as soon as you saw that and you nipped over to Windmill, you knew what was almost going to happen there as well. And Alcor now getting supported by RG. Feels like RG is really backing up Alcor extremely well as he's the back point holder for this Vermilion team. As now Texby and the Oracle are trying to bring out some kind of damage onto this combination, but RG doing a fantastic job of just avoiding those conditions, blocking those projectiles, and, you know, just surviving rather than focusing on damage. Although, just as I say that, a ton of conditions just get rinsed upon him. And Alcor, will he be able to get the res here? Gets the stealth out.
Oh,
and no! Oh, wow. I thought Triffin, but you saw Triffin just nip out of there as well, knowing that because of that, and also some of the conditions that just came on him literally by almost standing there and taking a shatter, has to get out of that situation. Now, rank 55 should be winning out on this now as well, especially with Zan approaching this side of the map. But let's have a look at mid. We've got Mankal versus Snowball. Not too exciting, but Windmill, it looks like it will be kept at the moment as Triffin nips into midpoint to just grab a quick +1, but Alcor does go down elsewhere. And now what is the decision here? Is Triffin going to go over towards Mansion, or is he going to stay at mid? Mid is definitely a good place for him to be, and Alcor, no chance of a res there.
Yeah, Mansion is not something that Vermilion can fight over right now. 55 managed to take that one for free, and now RG is in a bit of a tricky situation. He's just about out of cooldowns and might end up dropping to the 2 men of 55. But it's going to be left. It's only Oracle chasing right now, and Triffin might be able to save him. Heal is going to be up in just 2 seconds, but he can't last long enough. Will get dropped. Triffin is there to get the res straight away, though. Wasn't going to be able to.
He can't. Surely. Oh no, Snowball came in as well.
Fell off. Oracle fell off. He couldn't get the stomp in the end, and that is going to be a free pickup from Vermilion. But in that meantime, rank 55 have got themselves the 2-cap. They have mid, they have the Mansion. And it looks like Zan is looking to try and turn that into the windmill as well as he's fighting out against Curve. And so far, he's winning. Curve does have his heal available, but nobody going to be coming anytime soon for either team right there, so that should stay as a 1v1 for a little while just yet.
They've got a bit more together now. They're dealing with the FIFA a lot better than they were before, and they're just covering the points more. They've got their portal out. Their usage of the portal seems to be more effective and actually, more wisely used, I suppose, with the coverage on the map. And keeping that point sustained in a neutral by leaving Zan there, who is extremely tanky with that Paladin's Amulet as well, and winning out some of these fights. RG and Alcor combination doesn't seem to be working out as well as it was before, as we see Levin coming into these fights, applying more. Oh no, he was out. I believe he's out of range there. That's unfortunate for Levin, who's going to be delayed getting over towards this midpoint there, unfortunately for himself. But the support is still there for this blue team. But you could see that Triffin, as soon as he goes down for a res, he needs the right people there to make sure he's able to survive that. And there's nothing much Curve can do other than run to the support of Snowball, who gets his shout heal off as well. And that's going to be a fantastic job in terms of his survival there. And really, really close quarters as well. So from the beginning of that heal, he really benefited from the maximum amount of healing he possibly could. And now Texby looks like he's trying to approach Mansion, but we do see a loss of all nodes for all teams for rank 55 in that movement there, because it feels like they moved a lot of focus to mid. Even even Texby, which I feel wasn't really expecting that kind of. I guess that was a bit of a misplay really from rank 55, just getting suckered into mid quite heavily. Yeah,
absolutely, but right now, it feels like they can afford a bit of a misplay as they are 80 points ahead of Vermilion. But as you say, Vermilion, with that 1-cap, can slowly but surely start to close this gap now, so long as they can keep this midpoint neutral. Curve still dead, not res just yet, but we are going to see that RG has head over to that windmill to grab the cap. So 2-cap might be coming the way of Vermilion at this rate, and I don't know what really rank 55 can do about this one. Levin trying to get over there, but he's not going to be able to get there quick enough, and there is the cap coming out. Alcor now under a bit of pressure, but Curve will be here.
Again, the nick of time, absolute nick of time, and he's there to support, and now that 2v2 they can sustain quite well and keep it contested. Triffin's going to be able to get the nice cap here as he does a dodge jump over towards mid, gets the swiftness up as well, but yeah, completely denied by Oracle there. He can't 1v1 at all against anyone, really. He's, about the mobility and the +1 in the fights. And then we see Zan just in stealth looking to get some potential damage, range damage onto maybe Curve here more than anyone. But the conditions too much for him in the end. Now going to tank that out 1v2 while Zan pluses up elsewhere. And the 2-cap back in favor of this rank 55 Dragons team. And they're able to get the kills out on this windmill node as Levin does finish off Alcor there. Moving back into mid now. Levin should be able to just port up quickly +1. Or even, it's going to be more than that because they're already outnumbering. But Vermilion regathering their forces on this Mansion. I don't know if rank 55 want to just pull out of this. Do they have a portal available from the Oracle? No, not at all. So they're actually hard committing to this again. And if they do that, I feel like, it could be a mini comeback here, but they need to survive this. They don't want to lose any members whatsoever because they've committed in these situations before and they've actually lost out because the mobility of this blue team, they can just move around rank 55 and get the 2-cap on the sneaky one.
Yeah, that might be the case here, but on a sneaky one. But here we go, 4 men still at the Mansion. We are going to see Zan finally rotating away from that spot as we see the D-cap goes over towards the windmill. It is contested still at that midpoint, though. Clock Tower going to be a 2 versus 2. As Oracle incredibly low,
Triffin
might just be going down and will do so. Triffin finishes him off, but there we go, 2 players there to get the res in the end, and it's just RG now remaining as his mate just abandons ship, and that is going to be the midpoint taken once more by rank 55. 1 cap apiece though, and Vermilion still 100% 150 points behind on this one, so still not looking too great for them with only 420 Blaze It left on the clock right now. It's going to be a tricky one for Vermilion to come back into this game. We need to see something huge come out from them. Mancow, if they can finish off this kill, might be that. But I don't know if they're really going to be able to push for this kill. The rest of rank 55 are going to be in this fight as well.
Argy's going to die, surely, right here. I mean, the support is good, but they can't collect their team together and actually finish off a team fight. Well, neither of the teams can at the moment, but, you know, more kills coming out from rank 55. It felt like when we'd been over Mansion for ages. We've been switching between mid and Mansion, and actually Triffin isn't able to get over towards this windmill node too much either. I really liked the support that RG gave Alcor earlier in the game, but it feels like they've just started to move Levin. Rather than Levin focusing on the movement of maybe Triffin here, he's actually been focusing more on a focused push over towards the far point, which really puts the Druid in a horrible situation, you know, that focus damage, because you saw it from Tayskin as well, you know, the power damage that can come out from builds is really pressurizing on the Druid, and he can't survive that as much as he would like to. But, you know, the conditions, feels like it's a little bit easier at the moment to, you know, compared to that power damage, to deal with those. But now we move over towards the windmill port. We do see a little bit of a potential comeback coming up from this Vermilion team.
Well, you say that the decap comes out on that windmill, and rank 55, the only team with a cap on the board right now. 3 minutes on the clock, and it's not looking good for Vermilion, as Alcor is going to be dropped as well. That might just be curtains, to be quite honest. I know you were, but there's not a lot to be positive about in this situation if you're Vermilion. The decap does come out, though, onto the Mansion, so Vermilion at least neutralizing the map, but they've only got 2 minutes and a half remaining. Textbeat on his own here in a 2 versus 1, but they don't seem to be wanting to even try and capitalize on this one. Curve now going to be left on his own, but Zan is arriving as well. RG still just bleeding out here over towards the windmill. It's 1 cap apiece, but that's not enough for Vermilion here.
No, not at all. They should be able to just hold mid-contested. Mancow comes in with the support needed and actually push that member off node there as well. And actually Triffin, Levin is just, oh wow, nice knockdown. He might be able to finish Triffin off here if he's not careful. Triffin is actually just stopped by the looks of things. But it looks like at the moment, this will be a rank 55 Dragons win. Able to be kind of like TCG versus more guns, you know, how do we cope with this Thief? And also, you know, the rotations of maybe potentially the Revenant and the Druid together. It's not the same comp, obviously, that we're talking about in terms of Helseth. Look, the Moa comes down to Triffin there, which, you know, is pretty rare for the amount that he's evading, but, you know, maybe feeling that this game is lost currently as it stands. And we're going to see Textbeat leaving that 1v1 over on the Mansion as well. It's really interesting to see. Probably Rev doing quite well in that, if he can, unless he can't get rid of those conditions, of course, for Snowball over on the midpoint.
Blue team takes a capture point.
Well, that's all she wrote really here in this game with 1 minute 20 left.
I think you might just be right on that one, and I'm trying to think of a miracle way that Vermilion could maybe come back into this, but it's not looking great. RG
the point ball gets reset.
Might just be about
by accident.
Yeah, we accidentally remake the map. Maybe that's one way for them to get back in. But honestly, right now, if you're Vermilion, you're just going to be looking on towards that next map. You're going to be thinking, what went wrong in this one? How can we play this composition better? How can we play around their composition a little bit better and turn the next map into one that can go in our favor? Let's remember that the next map is, of course, Temple of the Silent Storm, which
well, we know what
we've
happens
seen
on that map
Vermilion do ridiculous things on at the last finals, and now they're going to have to do ridiculous things on it to get to these finals.
Yeah, indeed. I feel like Vermilion, if anyone could use that Thief properly on that map, for sure. I wouldn't say properly, I don't mean to insult teams by saying that, but just in terms of, you know, all of them being in that competitive mind, whether or not they're in that mind at the moment as well. And it really feels like we actually may not even see Thief in the finals at this rate as it is, although Abjured are more, well, they told us on the show last week they've been playing Thief, and that's what they feel they might play, but maybe judging by what we're seeing today, and if they're scouting this out at the moment in PZ, maybe Thief won't be the thing that people bring to finals. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, that is further in the future. Let's concentrate on the game maybe at hand right now. Textbeat gets taken down to about half HP. Tons of conditions coming, able to cleanse them easily with the Zerka there, as well as that adrenaline that's coming out. But it's quite low at the moment and is in that Zerka.
Triffin just gets turned on though. They focus so hard onto Textbeat and it just gets turned around. Triffin gets dropped immediately.
It was Textbeat or Triffin there, I think, to be honest. And now it could be Curve as well. To be no, actually. Levin's, no, he does get on him
Nice
this
jump.
time, but he's just actually fallen quite low there as he drops to the bottom layer of the map there, other than obviously where Tranquility is, down to about 20 or 30% HP, but does get risen up here in support and comes back to the Elementalist in that much needed heal and
Levin,
condition
though.
removal. Yeah, Levin does go down as well. Snowball
No,
with a fantastic
didn't
job.
quite go down. Managed to heal
Almost.
himself at the very last
Whoa.
second. Will stay in this fight and gets his heal off as well. So
Nice
Levin
knock.
narrowly surviving that fight. And the 3v3 here
Oh, look at the
continues, but
Connie.
Levin is out of
Surely
cooldowns
not.
and will get dropped into downstate. But Curve might be trading
Res.
across, runs out of life force, but the res is easily going to be there from rank 55.
Curve's
They
down
stay
now.
in this fight, and now it's
Surely.
going to be Curve turned back onto once more. He's just about out of cooldowns as well. Levin will finish that job off. Snowball trying to do his best to get that res, but I don't think it's really going to happen. And now RG, that
wow.
Elixir S proc is going to keep him alive for a little bit, but Triffin is going to be able to +1 this fight against Zan and should be able to flip this in favor of the blue side right now. But
Yeah,
so far,
this-
the caps very, very few across the map.
Yeah, indeed. I'm glad that
I say that.
these boys have
To
moved
immediately
back.
come in.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad that these boys have moved back into that into the rapid regeneration, because I always felt that that was going to be the stronger choice in terms of traits, just sustain and being a bit more tanky, but maybe wondering who's going to go for, if people are going to choose that Marauder Amulet in the finals. As we see Levin, he's just right on Triffin as they just pile on the kills here and roll across this map. And they did have the 2 cap, although losing mid. Just not watching after the points there and really thinking about the kills more. But the problem is they weren't able to get the kill on Triffin, and he used his map very well there to his advantage. We got the 2-1 here. Now RG needs to come in and try and support to equalize this fight up. But Alcor does get mowed, and RG might be coming into a world of pain here if he's not very careful. And the conditions could potentially actually pile up on them. It looks like Alcor is actually doing okay here. Does start to lose his HP, but Snowball going over towards midpoint. We have seen him drop, and he will go into downstate. But the thing is, Levin just rallied him up.
He certainly did. Levin has gone down. RG might just be going down as well. Incredibly low on this one, and will get chased down by
surprise.
Zan and Texby. Zan smashing him with his hammer right there. But
Yeah,
RG
rocket
is
charge.
living through this one so far. Alcor trying to save him as the heal is about to come off cooldown, and will be able to get that one off in the end. So RG surviving for now, and will just jump over towards Swiftness. You've got a new build available, mate. Your
We
game's
better
gonna be
finish in 20 minutes.
restarting for that
Good
one.
thing we've only got 11 minutes and 30 seconds left on the map. Sorry. We are going to see that the 1v1 here, not going to be plus up yet, but we are looking for the stillness coming out. We're going to see RG just moving over towards this midpoint, and actually Zan thinking about stillness more, going to give them the 2
Uncontested.
cap. Yeah, now Oracle has got a lot of work to do, although to be fair, he's not really guarding a point, so it's fine. And we are going to see the movement of the Necro over towards the altar potentially, although it looks like he's moving back to mid as Zan over on this side of the map, as Oracle has been taken out by RG. The sustainability from the Mesmer obviously not as strong as it was. Maybe thinking about the fact that he's not in Merc's Amulet because that's gone, and he is in Carrion, so he's not able to be as tanky as was before. Texby's doing okay here over on this side of the map, but dropping quite low, but he should be able to bring himself back up slowly as he sustains that fight. Levin keeping Snowball in the 1v1 here. This is actually quite good, even if Levin's not able to get a cap anywhere. But we are going to see Stillness running off now, as no caps come out for rank 55 Dragons at all.
Yeah, and so far, rank 55 haven't really been able to build a huge lead for themselves. Texby going to be just about okay. Gets his
Nice!
heal
Nice knockback.
available. Good knockback there, but it's not going to quite be enough. I say that. A lot of CC coming out. The Condis are going to be there as well, and he might just be going down here. He needs to use that heal. It's available, but he's just not choosing to use it. Texby, the Man of Steel right now, is still not going down regardless. Zan able to help him survive this one, and that is an impressive performance
Yeah,
coming
now
out.
Triffin's
right
on the
there.
run, and I don't think we're going to be able to rid all of these conditions before he goes down, and as soon as they're piled on and they're not able to get that burst, wow.
Really nice res comes out
Really
onto
good.
Triffin. He gets back
Really
up onto his feet, but Levin won't be so lucky. Over towards the temple. And that means Vermilion are now going to be the ones with the 2 cap in their favor, assuming Snowball can finish that one off.
Texby's having troubles here
Texby,
again.
incredibly low. Once again, still has his heal available, though.
he
So this
blocked
guy
it.
just not
On the
afraid of
block.
anything right now.
Yeah.
And they are going to, looks like, back away from this 3v3 in the end. Or, no, just baiting me on that one. They're going to just start fighting on the bridge instead. But it is going to be a single cap in favor of Vermilion. They're starting to close this point gap, and they're still very much in this map.
Yeah, indeed. Although Curve is dropping quite low, but Alcor now in a 1v2 situation. needs to get some support, but it's not happening. It looks like he's just going to sustain for as long as he can. Curve is very low up top. Reaper Shroud's going to save him for a bit here, but not for too long. Although Snowball is right next to him. Should have some cooldowns available. Has his heal ready to come back up as well. But he gets interrupted. Not much HP comes out for Curve there at all, actually. And gets knocked back just as he uses his heal, I believe. Now, Curve has been able to survive for, maybe longer than we thought here. And the longer he survives, the better this fight for these guys to actually push to Zan and actually the Revenant as well. Although the burst comes in for Curve, and there's not much he can do about that. Knockback comes out as well, and Curve can't get this heal off, and that's him down and out, as they will be able to get the contest on this point, probably the cap in the end as well, and should be able to take out Snowball no problems. Although I'm saying that, and he's getting res currently as Treffin comes
Look at
in
the health bars.
for the power res. Good job there from the team of Vermilion, but the thing is, elsewhere they will be losing out, but the thing is they have been able to get the kill onto Levin as well, and really
and that was the big thing in that fight. They got the down onto Levin, which meant they could get the res onto Curve. The cleave was there, and 55, honestly, I feel pushed a little bit too hard to try and finish off Curve there, and that's why they ended up losing Levin in the end. They did manage to grab Stillness for themselves, which means it's 2 caps apiece for a little bit right now, and Curve and Zan going to be 1v1ing over Tranquility. Neither will be able to take that one just yet, but Mancow feeling the pressure from Triffin right now. Gets a good burst onto him. Mancow doing his very best Pepe impression there next time you have a look at him on his little icon. But we are going to see a 2 versus 2 down for Tranquility as Curve and Snowball going up against Texby and Zan. But again, these 2 versus 2s, these 1 versus 1s are very sustained fights. Good portal away from this one, but Oracle going to be going over towards the temple, looking to help out Levin against RG right here. Look at RG's health bar, just gets burst down. Elixir S proc does come out, but it's not going to keep him alive for very much longer.
Does a good job. Yeah, I mean, he pulls out his healing turret as well as the the medic gyro, but in the end the burst just burst through those heals, because it's not a lot, it's not very quick. It's sustaining that burst is very difficult.
We've had a kill down on the bottom floor next to Tranquility, and Snowball is going to start to channel onto the Tranquility.
No one's going to get there.
Itself.
They're not going to do it.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get interrupted in the end. He does.
Really?
That must have been like last second channel right there, but Texby might just be going down for his trouble right now. Again, we keep on seeing this overextension on these points. Texby has been dropped. Levin trying to get the stun off, but it's not going to happen in time, and Texby is going to be finished off now. Levin getting some help from Zan, but he's just about out of cooldowns. Needs to be very careful on this one. Does have his heal available though, so should be just about okay. And now they're turning back onto Curve, who could be the target on this one. Snowball trying to help out his teammate here as they burn through that life force, but Mancow is going down towards the gate and will get finished off in the end. Triffin is going to be able to do more than enough to finish that one, and Alcor will get the stop in the end. Triffin needs to get down towards that Tranquility potentially though, because it's all still to play for here. You can see as well Oracle getting the capture onto Alter, but it's 2 caps in favor of Vermilion. This is such a close game between these 2 teams.
Yeah, it is now. Right now, 2 cap in favor, and rank 55 Dragons need to do something on the map right now to bring it back in control, and they're actually losing this fight down below as Zan goes down and Levin, Vermilion will pick up a 3 cap here very shortly. They don't want to panic, but now as well mid will be decaps, but the points are going to be flipped in favor of this team if they're not careful. Although Mancow does get down there just in the nick of time, and that's going to be that. I mean, good job with the decap as well, but Stillness comes back up as we have 5 minutes 30, and actually rank 55 should be all... they're not all alive, but they are kind of
the thing is, Vermilion didn't finish them off. They just let them slowly but surely bleed out, which meant they took a lot longer to respawn, but Vermilion have managed to grab Stillness for themselves, so they've actually taken the lead in terms of points. They just have to keep control here, and the Temple is definitely not a map that's easy to keep control of right now, as we can see each team with a side node right now. And the midpoint still decap. Neither team able to get control of it just now.
This isn't a great position for Mancow to be in at all.
Oh, Levin gets mowed.
Actually in a really great position now for Vermilion, because they've taken out their main support, But Levin, if they can get the kill on RG, they can plus up downstairs potentially and actually get Mancal either out of this fight or just plus up and get the Tranquility and flip the map into their favor. But Vermilion have been playing this extremely well. Snowball now going to have to 1v2. They're opted to go for the kill versus him. They've got the contest everywhere else, so it's not too bad that Mancal's down there. They've got more damage on the map at least, and they're ending Vermilion's hopes at the moment of winning this game. And Snowball will be dropped fairly shortly. Well, I guess I could say that in a combination.
He surely will.
I'm very good at making up words. As they start to take the lead as well, 5 or 6 points is just ticking in their favor. Texby probably will go down here versus the Druid as well, showing that, you know, the Warrior can regenerate quite strongly, but what happens when the burst comes in? That's what happens, and Texby will be dropped down to the floor. Two caps in their favor as well, with that downstate currently coming out. It's still not going too badly for rank 55, but that does leave, of course, 4 men on the map with the Tranquility being contested and a lot of things to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. Curve, again, feeling quite a bit of pressure coming out of Mancal here. Will have his life force available soon, but Oracle has been dropped. Levin looking for the res, but he's not going to be able to find it. There's the stop coming out, and now Levin might just be following in suit as he's used his heal. He's back to full HP, but he's in a 2 versus 1. Needs to get on out of there. Triffin is not going to let him get away with that one, though. Gets absolutely deleted there. And Levin down into that down state. That's going to be the Alter going the way of Vermilion, and it's 1 cap apiece once more. But take a look at the score right now. 30 points is the difference. Rank 55 still ahead on this one. Alcor looking for the decap. Doesn't get the snare onto Oracle, though, and will not get the decap. So close to getting it, but Oracle is going to be able to block that one in the end. Unfortunate one there from Vermilion. That could have been their way back in that game, getting that decap. But Zan now is in a lot of trouble. Doesn't have his heal available. 2 versus 1 and will get dropped by the looks of things unless he escapes.
Yeah, I mean, he's got Elixir X as well. I mean, you can't stealth out there. He doesn't really have any choice. And he's ridding himself of the conditions with that Purge Gyro, of course, any that are coming in. But it's not much. It's mainly vulnerability, obviously a bit of chill. And wow, he gets the Elixir X and that's the thing that really makes him tanky as well. Oh, good job from Zan. Super 1v2. I don't care what's going on the rest of the map because this is epic play by Zan. And if he gets some backup here as well, amazing sustainability for this man, remaining as, in my eyes, one of the top engineers, as I just absolutely lose my stuff about just one single player on this map when there are 10 currently doing their stuff. Down the bottom of this map as well, Curve will go into the downstate versus Levin there as Snowball comes in to sustain things, but, you know, I'm not even going to talk about
right there as well, Zan basically made it so that rank 55 could get control of the rest of the map. He forced 2 people to stay with him. He still survived as well. 417 points on the board for rank 55. They've got stillness as well as a cap. They're looking to get RG as well. They will be able to finish him off in the end. And that might just be all she wrote for Vermilion because it's just 1 minute and 30 remaining on the clock. Triffin doing what he can, but Zan, the unkillable right here, is going to be able to survive a little bit longer as Triffin and Curve try and finish him off, but he's going to get topped straight back up. And that means that this mid-fight will continue.
So ridiculous. A mid. I'm blown away by that. I mean, I must have missed something, surely. But he was 1v2. I mean...
Yeah, incredible play coming out from Zan. But Snowball is going to go down as well. Levin finishes him off. Vapor Form comes out, but he's not going to be able to contest that Tranquility for much longer. And not that rank 55 even need the Tranquility at this point because they are 30 points away from victory and they are 30 points away from a flawless season. This is by far the first seed in Europe and definitely, in my opinion, one of the favourites to take the entire finals.
Yeah, I mean... They've only gone and improved, I think. Rank 55. I mean, I don't want to hark on about it. All right, I don't want to hark on about it, chat. Guild Wars 2 community, but that was plays by Zan. That was ridiculous. And if they play that individually that well as well in finals, that's a U. That's a U.
That's going to be the stuff that really kind of separates the wheat from the chaff at finals. Those individual plays and showing that that each and every single one of your players deserves to be there. It's not just 1 or 2 players that are kind of carrying the rest of the team. And
we are done with this season, and that's it. I don't know what else to say, really. Good job. Play. Well done. Thank you very much, sir. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Season 2 pleasure
I'll
indeed.
give you a final handshake awkwardly on stream. Goodbye forever, Jebro. Anyway, we're going to be saying goodbye. Goodbye from me, goodbye from Jebro, goodbye from Charnold, and goodbye from the production as well. And we'll see you guys at the finals.